Hi there, welcome to Fluency Goals Basic Grammar series. I am Mandeep, and today in this lesson we are going to talk about cases of noun. So we are going to discuss the nominative case, accusative case, possessive case, dative case, and vocative case. But before I proceed with the lesson, I want to humbly request you, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then please do so that you do not miss out on any subsequent lessons on grammar. So let's begin. Noun is the name of a person, place, animal, thing, object, feeling, idea. What are the noun cases? Cases of noun tell us about the role and position of noun in a sentence. We'll assess what is the noun case according to the position that the noun is taking in a sentence. Whether it is taking the subject position, object position, direct object position, or indirect object position. There are 5 noun cases in all: nominative case, accusative case, possessive case, vocative case, and dative case. Nominative or subjective case. So, when a noun acts as a subject of a verb in a sentence, it is said to be in the nominative or subjective case. Now, subject is the doer of action. So, whenever noun takes the position of subject, then we say that the noun is in a nominative or subjective case. Take for example, John is dancing. Now the verb in this sentence is dancing. The action that is being performed in this sentence is dancing. And who is performing that action is John. And John is a noun here. So we can say that John here is in the nominative or subjective case. Let's take another example. Sachin was talking to his friends. Can you spot the nouns in this sentence? Sachin, friends. If I ask you, what is the action being done in this sentence? What is the verb? It is talking. And who is doing that action? Sachin. So Sachin is a noun here, and we can say that this noun Sachin is in the nominative case or subjective case here. In order to find noun in nominative case in a sentence, you can ask the question what or who before the verb to get the answer. Now, whenever we are talking about a thing, we can ask the question what. And whenever we are talking about the person, we can ask the question who. Let's take an example. Michael Jackson gave a brilliant dance performance. We can ask the question, who gave the brilliant dance performance? So the answer to this is Michael Jackson. So Michael Jackson is a noun and it is in the nominative case. Father gave sweets to children. Who gave sweets to children? Father. So father is a noun and it is in the nominative case. Moving on to the accusative or subjective case. Now, whenever a noun is in the position of an object of verb in a sentence, it is in the objective or accusative case. So this noun experiences the action being done by the subject. Now, this action can be experienced by the noun if it's in the object position, right? Now, the object, as we know, can be a direct object, indirect object, or the object of preposition, right? For the direct object and the object of preposition, we can say that the noun is in the accusative case. For the indirect object, we'll say that the noun is in the dative case. Now let me explain here in brief what are the direct objects, indirect objects, and the object of preposition so that it is more clear to you. So let's take an example here. Father gave sweets to children. Now, as we know, father is the subject, gave is the verb, sweets is the object, children is also object. Now the verb, the action gave, is directly experienced by sweets. And further, those sweets are being given to another object, that is children. So sweets is the direct object, children is the indirect object. Now it can become confusing sometimes. So in order to be clear about direct or indirect object, A simple and sure short way to identify direct and indirect object in a sentence is to ask the question what after the verb. Whenever you ask the question what after the verb, what did father give? You get the direct object. If you ask the question for whom, from whom, to whom after the verb, you get the indirect object. And if you ask the question where, you get the object of preposition. Let's take some more examples. I took the car keys from my driver. I is pronoun here. Took is verb. Car keys is the noun here. Driver is also a noun. Now I is the subject. Took is the verb, the action. If you ask the question what, you get the answer car keys. So the car keys is direct object in this sentence. If you ask the question for whom, from whom, to whom, you get the indirect object. So I took the car keys from whom? The driver. So the driver is the indirect object here. Clear? Now let's take other examples to find the noun in accusative case. Rohan called Sarah. Rohan and Sarah are the nouns here. Find the noun in the accusative case. Rohan called whom? Sarah. So we can say Sarah is the noun in the accusative case. Sarah gave John a ball. Now here we have three nouns, Sarah, John and ball. Sarah obviously is the doer of the action gave, so Sarah is in the nominative case. Now John and ball are the objects here. Let's find out the direct object in this sentence first. What did Sarah give? A ball. So ball is the direct object. To whom? John. John is the indirect object. So which noun here is in the accusative case? Ball. So ball here is in the accusative case. Now moving on to the dative case. So when a noun acts as an indirect object in a sentence, we can say that the noun is in the dative case. Usually, the indirect objects come just immediately after the verb in a sentence. So now, as I have already explained to you direct and indirect objects, how to identify them, I hope that you can identify the nouns in the dative case in the following sentences. Or, I brought a book for my friend. So the nouns in this sentence are book and friend. So the indirect object here is, we'll ask the question, to whom, for whom, from whom. So the indirect object is friend. So we can say that friend here is in the dative case. Let's take another example. The teacher gave the winner a surprise award. The nouns are teacher, winner, award. So the action gave is being transferred to the object, award and winner. So what did the teacher give? Award. Award is the direct object. Winner is the indirect object. So we can say that winner is in the dative case. Let's take one more example. Should I tell Richard about our plan? Richard and plan are the nouns here. I is the pronoun which is in the nominative case. Richard is the direct or indirect object. Should I tell what? The plan. So plan here is the direct object. To whom? Richard. Richard is the indirect object. So Richard here is in the dative case. Now let's move on to the genitive case or possessive case. The name itself says it. Whenever the noun is showing possession, authority or ownership, then we can say that the noun is in the possessive case. It is very easy to identify such nouns because an apostrophe is added to these nouns to show the possession. Example, Rohan's book, John's pencil box, cat's ball. So all these nouns here have an apostrophe s added to them. But it's not necessary that always that a possession is shown using apostrophe. Sometimes the preposition of is also used to show the possession. Like play of Shakespeare. Here the possession is shown using the preposition of. Usually, apostrophe is avoided to be added with the name of the objects. Let's say car's window. It seems a bit inappropriate and incorrect to say car's window here. So we'll say window of car. Bungalow's roof. Instead of saying bungalow's roof, we can say roof of the bungalow. So the words that already have an S after them, the plurals, we add an apostrophe after the S. Girls' hostel. Here girls is a plural and it already has an S. So we'll add an apostrophe after the S. Girls' hostel. Kids' toys. Instead of adding double S with an apostrophe, we'll simply add one apostrophe after the S. Kids. Moving on to vocative case. When we address a noun, that means when we are calling out a noun in a sentence, when we are calling out somebody's name, some person, that noun is said to be in the vocative case. It usually happens when you take the name of the listener in a sentence and there is always a comma placement after these nouns. So it is very important to place a comma after the address of this noun, because if we don't do so, it can completely change the meaning in a sentence. Let's take a look at these sentences here. I don't know, Samantha. I don't know is a complete sentence in itself here, and the address is to Samantha. So it is separated using a comma here. It is in the vocative case. But see, if we don't place the comma here, it will completely change the meaning of this sentence, and it will be read as I don't know Samantha. That means the speaker doesn't know Samantha. But if we place a comma before Samantha, it means that the speaker is addressing Samantha. I am addressing Samantha and I am telling her that I don't know. Let's take another example here. I know your phone number, John. So here I don't know your phone number is a complete sentence and I am addressing John. So I have separated John from the sentence to indicate that I am addressing John. John is in the vocative case. To summarize the lesson, nominative case indicates that the noun is in the position of a subject in a sentence and it is the doer of the action. Example, Mr. Sean is our project manager. Mr. Sean is a noun and it is in the nominative case. Whenever the noun is in the position of a direct object or the object of preposition in a sentence, we can say that it is in the position of accusative or objective case in a sentence. Example, father gave sweets to children. Sweets here is the direct object and this noun here is in the accusative case. Whenever the noun acts as an indirect object in a sentence, it is said to be in the dative case. Example, teacher distributed awards to students. Students are the indirect object in this sentence, so students are in the dative case. Whenever a noun is indicating ownership or possession in a sentence, usually by adding an apostrophe s or by adding preposition of in a sentence, we can say that the noun is in a possessive case. Example, Edward's book, Uncle's magazine, roof of bungalow. When a noun is called out or addressed in a sentence, then that noun is said to be in the vocative case. A vocative noun is always separated from the rest of the sentence using a comma. Example, Rohan, can you come here? Mr. Malhotra, your client is waiting for you in the office. Mr. Malhotra here is a noun in vocative case. That was all for today's lesson. I'll see you next week with another lesson. If you like this video, please give a like to it. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then please do so as it helps a lot. And don't forget to share this video with your friends. Thank you so much.